What up, world? You tuned in. South Arkansas Trill Talk, Wednesday edition. Chilling with my homie Renz T, man. Shit, you know, we go on, you know what I'm saying, get prepared. Like I say, man, salute everybody that came on. My cousin Marla Moreau, you know what I'm saying? We were coming live from London earlier. She went to London, Paris out there and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I salute her for enjoying herself. That's my cousin. Shit, she come check on me. Shit, when I come home, she come see me. Shit, you know what I'm saying? She keep me in touch with my daddy's side, period, out there. I'm pretty sure she keep a lot of people in touch with the daddy's side out there. And like I say, she like to travel out there. And she was making sense, man. Shit, you want to travel out there, you got your passport to leave out the country, see the world, you want to cruise out there, shit. Like she said, she be putting her trips on layaway, as she say. You can pay as you go. And hey, that's a beautiful thing out there when you can pay as you go out there. And I salute people that travel out there and see the world and ain't scared, you know what I'm saying? And salute my homie KJ Kenya Johnson coming through, you know what I'm saying? Check us out on, you know what I'm saying, YouTube over there, you know what I'm saying? And for all my people, future, and the ones that we doing interviews off YouTube, PSA, listen to this now. If I send you an invite, all you got to do is go tap on the link, and it's go send you to the link. It go send you straight to YouTube. So you have to give me a minute, because I be sharing on all my channels, and I be trying to give us an audience and stuff. So you got to give me time to actually buzz you in so you can see on the screen. But just send me an invite. I send that link to you. Send me an invite. It's the same way on StreamYard. It's the same way right here on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You know, I choose to keep this audience, me and Renz T, because like I say, man, we be reaching people. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, if you into the word out there, no matter what you believe in out there, you know what I'm saying, whether you believe in, you know what I'm saying, Christianity, whether you are Islam, whether you are Buddhist, Atheist, Jehovah's Witness, shit, Hebrew, I don't care what you is out there. I salute you out there. I tell anybody that, I say that all the time, because it shouldn't be nothing that, you know what I'm saying, separate us and our black people from each other out there. That would be the main thing. And if I ain't loud, like, man, you come on, like, man, don't just sit there. You want to be part of the conversation. Ask your questions out there, man. That's how you get good, and that's how you learn what you know. And that's what you learn what to do as you get older out there. Like I say, man, older I get, I'm unlearning to relearn some stuff. So, like I say, man, I don't hypocrite my life. Shit, what I do, my business. Like they say, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And it's best not to do what you do in front of everybody. But like I say, man, people put rumors on people all the time, and they ain't seen you did shit. You understand that? They ain't seen you did nothing sometimes. They just want to distort your name, make you look bad, or think they know you. And a lot of people think they know you through this internet sometimes. I tell people all the time, shit, get to know people for who they is, not for what they do or nothing. Shit, like I say, man, a lot of these rappers that be online, shit, they be broke for real, and they be fronting, or they might have bought them some rapper money or something, or shit, they using somebody else's shit. Now, it's okay to use other people's shit to front with out there, because you got some homies and they got some Trill shit, and they want to put it in the videos, or they want to let you use certain shit to make your shit look, you know what I'm saying, official. I salute them kind of homies right there. But if your ass out here doing it just to downgrade certain shit, but these days people know what go together. Same way you can be the biggest ball around, but don't take care of your kids. Shit, now you are just with a deadbeat daddy that was a player. You know, we know a lot of them. Shit, you gotta understand, man, whatever you put out in the universe gonna come back. And shit, you gotta think about sometime. Is it worth getting robbed for some fake jewelry out there? You know what I'm saying? We see it happen out there, but we gotta know where the game at, on which way, the world turning and what's going in it, man. Like I say, man, salute my cousin Marlon Monroe for coming on. You know what I'm saying? She way in London, Paris out there. Like I say, man, she took a trip. She liked to enjoy herself. She done been to plenty country, plenty islands out there. And hey, I salute out there. And she live in my little old town out there. Shit, shout out to Memphis Heights out there. All my people out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole pound out there. Whether you New Edition, whether you Douglas, whether you East Side, shit, whether you Morning Star, whether you Fordville, whether you St. Louis, shit, whether you West Side over there, shit, whether you're down on East Main, you know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know how I get down. Like I say, man, salute everybody that tune in. What's up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, I keep it jumping. Shout out to my homie, Louisiana Slugger right there. You know what I'm saying? Baby C-Nut, man. Go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing right now. And he was just with Charleston White out there. That's why I say, man, I give Trill people they props and stuff. Like I say, man, I've been getting flowers away. I'm going to be getting flowers away all week. Like I say, man, check out. Me and him will be online. I think that's Saturday. He said be off. Shit, man, check me out tomorrow. I think I got, you know what I'm saying, Lil Cody, you know what I'm saying, DeAndre, you know what I'm saying, doing his gospel thing right now. And like I say, man, I'm just going to hit you with some people. I can't just announce some people because sometimes some people be off and, hey, they feeling it right then. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting them they flowers right then. So salute everybody that came on and shit. Like I say, man, if you do good things in the community, you have did good things before. And if you just a homie, you want to kick it, man, you want to tell your testimony, you want to tell how God been good to you now, shit, come fuck with me. You understand what I'm saying? It's all love on my end. You know how I get down. And like I say, man, I ain't no trolling. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the podcast game, but you see how I do it, one-on-one. Shit, I can put 3, I can put 4, I can put up to 10 people on the screen if I want to. Like I say, man, I got my green screen on YouTube over there. And, you know what I'm saying, I got myself over here, you know what I'm saying, just regular Facebook. And, you know, I can Instagram it, TikTok it. Like I say, man, I'm getting my motion back. My channel was up there. Niggas be saying how high your channel and got. I'm saying, man, my channel was high. This is my 3rd channel. I just be wanting to let people know that you when you're dealing with this podcast stuff, you get knocked off YouTube or you get flagged, they take your channel from you. But if you got the content, you still can eat. Niggas will wonder why they got more subscribers than me. and they wonder why I'm over here in the bank and I can live stream and they can't. And you be like, cuz nigga, you were buying them bogus ass views. That's why I tell niggas, if you go buy views and all that, buy them to just get yourself in a position where, you know what I'm saying, you getting yourself out there, putting your music out there, or you trying to get a buzz or anything you doing. But always create you an organic page so your content will be official. Sometimes you gotta do that, whether you doing it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Get with some of the content creators if you like to post and share all day and share music. Sometimes you gotta go in there and go link for link. And salute myself, I did link for link. That's how I get my views up. I don't care who don't support me from the pound. I don't care who don't support me from Arkansas. I go rub shoulder with strangers. And that's what's been holding me down, strangers. And salute the ones that became more of my family in the stranger life based upon I live that stranger life because strangers will help you more than people you know, more than your family out there. And you have to know over time what's real and what's fake. And then it might be real situations like when it's time to be a parent out there, you might ain't got family, or family might don't help each other together when it come to kids stuff or it come to support stuff. You might have more friends or more people that you meet on the outside, and salute the ones that got outside friends. You know what that is? Well, they got outside family more than they got, you know what I'm saying, people that's, you know what I'm saying, around that they probably growed up with their cousins or they had their brothers and sisters and all that to deal with. So I'm on live. So when all said and done, it's just a reality of people grow up different. And if you got a lot of brothers and sisters out there, you know what I'm saying, you knowing that y'all must immediate family, so y'all learn how to play together. You got a bunch of cousins out there, y'all learn to play together, but you growed up in them hoods, like them projects, or you ran the streets at an early age. Your set of friends different, your friendship or brotherhood different, your loyalty different and shit. And see, family gonna be family. Family gonna be fucked up. Family gonna be some of the worst ones. Some family you might can trust. Some family you can't put shit past. You can't trust. So family gonna be family. The loyalty might different. The trust might be different. You might can let people stay in your house that's not your family. You might can't let people stay in your house, just like you can't let people know where you stay at. Same way friends. All that shit change over time as you get older out there. And see, that's where we have to go with loyalty, bring your royalties out there, because you gotta know what you're loyal to sometime, and you don't want to be loyal to the wrong shit. Same shit that's not making you no money. Same way being loyal to the people that support you out there. And see, some people be having that crossed up sometime. They don't know where they balance it, and they gotta know what's real emotion and who really helping them, cause you know what I'm saying. Don't never let nobody make you feel like they hipping you in the massive space, but they actually keeping you from getting help. That's why I keep it real, because I don't want people to think that, you know what I'm saying, if I'm doing bad, I'm doing bad. Like I tell people, I'm bill broke. I'm not broke like that. You know what I'm saying? I be looking for opportunities. I be looking for somebody to come through and just throw me a bag out the sky sometime. You know what I'm saying? Throw me a blessing through $Skulla B, because you know what I'm saying, I'm moving to light. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I support everybody in the city. I support everybody in the state where they support me back. Shit, I'm a Arkansas hip hopster. I used to rap. Shit, I help niggas push their music all over still. Shit, I like consistency. Shit, I'm a representative. I'm a team player out there. Like I said, shout out to all my homies out there. Like I say, man, I'm gonna bring Renz T in here, man. Like I say, man, it's about season to changing or something. And like I say, man, it's where you at in the community of, you know what I'm saying, helping and being yourself and knowing where your loyalty chain lies. Even if out there, you gotta know what's best for you, what's working for you. You know what I'm saying? Even what you believe in out there. What's up, my brother?
What's good with it, man? What up out on?
Nothing much, man. I just was in here, you know what I'm saying, educate, you know what I'm saying, talking about loyalty, talking about how I feel on, you know what I'm saying, you might grow up with brothers and sisters, and then you might have outside friends. See, I growed up in the projects, and I growed up in Village Love. Shout out to Hager Neal out there. And that we had outside friends more than brothers and sisters. Now, you know, you grow up in the house with brothers, sisters, and cousins, and that's all you know. Them all the friends that you have. You feel me? All your brothers, they be on the friends you got till you start going to school or something. You feel me? But you in the streets, them your friends too. You feel me now? It's like your immediate friends be your people that you can't forget it sometime, even through school. Then I was talking about how family gonna be family when it comes to that loyalty. You feel me now? Like you gonna have some family that fucked up, you can't trust. Shit, you want to let them know you stay. They can't come to your house, they're a thief, they still feel me now? Shit, this person the fuck your man. Shit, this motherfucker old. Feel me now? You gotta know how family fucked up to people, your immediate friends, so the loyalty stands with whoever keep the same loyalty with you. And that's family. And I was talking about how strangers these days, that's my world, based upon I meet more strangers becoming more family to me than my own family and people I probably been knowing forever sometime, based upon the same you know what I'm saying, drives, what is God's love, what is, you know what I'm saying, person trying to stay free, shit, what is a person that's, you know what I'm saying, it used to be my passion of music, now getting into movies now, but it's the situation of what you have in common, people in life, you know what I'm saying, same way the one that fight for the community out there. I would go touch on, because I started off with the season of change, that's what we left out last time with the changes of the seasons out there, what it meant to daylight savings time out there. And you know, it's season of change with pain, you know what I'm saying? Everything have to die, everything have to grow. You know, the sun coming out now, the pollen blooming. What you think about this season of change, where we was at last time? Then I'm gonna go into something else.
Well, we did hit on, you know, like the dynamics of changing of seasons from a spiritual point of view, and then also as we see in nature, is what we talked about last. But in this season right now, we're in a season of life. You know, there's new things that are growing out, it's sprouting, and it's springtime. It's time to nurture, and things are gonna start blooming. So we're in that season of life, you know, or shall I say, of rejuvenation. Um, is the way I'm seeing it right now. And spring is representing in my life at this particular time, you know, being a season of just rejuvenation, nurturing, and life, you know, which is a positive thing, positive aspect of what's going on at this time. And I think that we all should be in search and just being rejuvenated in spirit and in nature. You know, this is reflection time to just really look on what just passed this winter and what we're moving into this new season, this new year, going forward.
You think global warming messed up now based upon my biggest affection sometime I be trying to figure out how the Passover keep getting switched from March to April. It used to be, it be in March one year, then it might be in April this year. I'm gonna say Easter is that. Wait, what can you say about this sometime on the Passover get switched? Do they go by of how the soul is changing in the world, or how you view that Passover thing? Because you know, like I say, Easter in April this year. It was last year. I think it was in March.
Yeah, we have leap year. We have
Oh
leap
yeah,
years.
yeah. I forgot that
Yeah,
too.
we have leap years, and what that's just based on our systematic calendar, and it's the way it falls based on our systematic calendar, and not necessarily how things lined up with the cycle of the planets.
Yeah,
Um, so based on our calendar, the way the cycle of the planets are, and our rotation around the sun, as you said, it goes with the lunar eclipse and things of that sort, which goes back into leap year. So based on the way our calendar is set up, if our calendar remains the same, but the world doesn't, or the um the evolutions and rotation of the Earth is different or slightly off, then our days are going to be slightly off as well. You know what I'm saying? But the calendar remains the same. It's just, and that's the way it falls. Sometimes we have long. Truth be told, sometimes we have longer years. Sometimes we have shorter years.
yeah,
But our calendar reflects 365 days.
yeah,
You tell. So, and that's it. And that's the way it falls. Same thing with Mardi Gras. One year Mardi Gras
yeah.
might be in February, the next year might be in March. So it's just based on how it falls throughout the calendar year.
Hey, when you say while we right there, cause that's where I was on King Solomon on 365. You feel me? Then you say leap year right there, and you know that we go put that wisdom. because it's the verse is the Kings 1, chapter 3, 16 verse through the 23rd chapter verses. I think 16 to 23rd verse. It was chapter 3 though, and Jesus marked in the 12th chapter, 13 through 17 verse. You can get with a better understanding where I'm at, but it was talking about seasons and spiritual world timeless, based upon the knowledge, the Bible, everything timeless. You go get it. It ain't nothing new under the sun, as they say. But how do that rely to how you look at the season change now, King Solomon? Because we always talk about that, asking for wisdom in this time frame, and knowing, is that better than money? Is that better than you understand what I'm saying now? What can you say about that King Solomon on the wisdom part of the seasons of change? Because like you say, everybody be transitioning. You think we transition to good fruits or bad fruits out there? What's the relation to that part of transitioning from wisdom and from
We
King Solomon?
talked about it last time. I mean, you putting it all together. I mean, the statements that you're making are answering themselves. And we talk
Yeah,
about King Solomon speaking and making the statement that there's nothing new under the sun, meaning that there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, what
yeah,
about above? What
yeah,
about beyond the sun? We're just talking about
yeah,
which is us, and meaning that we constantly do the same thing. We as human beings are in this world are living in cycles. The characters
yeah,
change. Well, the characters remain the same. The people change, but the character remain the same. Situations
yeah,
remain the same. Everything that can be done has been done. So when we think that we're coming up with new ideas and stuff like that, other people have already thought of it, or it's already been transitions. The characters are all the same characters, especially like when you read the Bible, which is why we can relate it,
yeah,
which is always can come to life, because it's forever revolving. The same characters are in this book that we see today. As just like Jesus called Peter Satan.
yeah,
He wasn't saying Peter was Satan or Satan was disguised in Peter. All he was saying was that it was the same character. You're acting in the character of Satan, or you have a
yeah,
demonic speaking right now. But I know you. See, I can relate you to Satan based on your character at this particular time. And that's just what it is. Like, if let's just say, for a prime example, someone introduced them to me, introduced themselves to me, and I do it frequently. And they be like, I don't think we know each other. I'm like, yeah, I know you.
yeah,
I'm like, no, it'd be like, yeah, I've seen you before. Yeah, we met before. I may not be talking about that person per se. I'll be talking about that person's character. I've seen someone like you or who acts similar to you, and they have no clue of what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about the spirit. I'm talking about the character. I've seen you before. This is nothing new to me. Does that
yeah.
make sense?
Hey, that's the trick when you see certain traits of certain things, and you never forget a person that was like that person. Like, oh, you remind me of such and such. Feel me now?
Correct.
That
And
part.
that's now, with that being said, nothing new under the sun. We can always evolve in the spiritual realm. See,
Yeah,
that's the only thing that evolves outside of things that are worldly. We're limited in the world, you know what I'm saying? But there are things beyond this world. So everything under the sun, and that's how I relate what Solomon is saying there. There's nothing new under the sun. One is because he lived it. He's tried just about everything. You know what I'm saying? He experienced different cultures and different lifestyles, and come to the understanding that all those things I think we spoke about. He also said was in vain. It
yeah,
profited him too. All these different things that we think that we're doing we actually ain't doing nothing, because none of it really matters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Outside of that, which is in the spirit. See, we got to speak on that. Outside of that, which is in the spirit, which is beyond the sun.
Yeah.
But we so focused on the things that are under the sun. And he's telling you that all those things, you might as well go on and listen to him, because he done tried it all. You know what I'm saying? He done tried it all, so go ahead.
Paraphrase that with people caught up with the materialistic world and people caught up with the spirit. Why you think sometimes it be hard for people to let go to the spirit, and some people don't want to let go of the money? You feel me now? Because they say money root all evil, but that part of being caught up with the spirit and being caught up with materialistic. How do them worlds feel of the disattachment? How do you let go of one or the other? How that feel in there? You feel where I'm coming from now?
You got to step out on you. I mean, you could do it. It's two ways it can be done. And for me, speaking about myself, I just spoke about it today. I did a little how can I say it? I did a small seminar today with a class. I held a class today with a group called Upbound, right? And we were contrasting my life, my earlier days, which you know what that was about, as opposed to where I am today. The money that I made in my earlier days, as opposed to what my lifestyle is now, and the finances. You know what I'm saying? And even though I may have seemed to made more then in my younger days, I'm grateful for my later days, right? And
Yeah.
the reasoning is for that is the true richness is in the peace,
Yeah.
the peace of my decisions. My decisions then in my younger days, although it got me gain in the world or material things, I had no peace. I had, it was always obstacles. It was always something, and there was no peace in my decision making. As
Yeah.
opposed to now, I'm able to take anything that comes at me, in a sense, because I'm good with the decision that I make. I'm good with the moves that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that we're not going to be able to please everybody, is more so about my peace. And if I'm good with myself, it really doesn't matter what nobody else say.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, and the morale that goes behind it. A lot of things that we're seeking now, as the people, shall I say, is we're seeking things that brings us no peace, and
Yeah.
most of it is material things, and that's the same thing that happened to Solomon. Solomon almost went crazy, just
Yeah.
exploring being. Sometimes we can be overly wise. We can be wise in the wrong things, and the true wisdom is actually following the manuscript. See what I'm saying? He was given a godly wisdom, but he searched for wisdom in the world. And when he searched for wisdom in the world, he fell away from the wisdom that God had already bestowed upon him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He had a true gift already. He wanted to go even further. In truth, he wanted knowledge to be his own God, when you really think about it. He
Yeah.
wanted to be beyond what God has already gifted him with. In a sense, he wanted to be his own God. He wanted to become all-knowing, all-experienced. All right. And in that all-knowing and that all-experienced, he come to find out that none of it meant anything. All that extra didn't mean anything. It was the thing that he already had. And that was
Yeah.
God's wisdom. It was God's wisdom. It was that understanding. It was that spiritual relationship, that connection that he had with God. that really meant something in his later days. You know, when this life is about to go down, you know, when all these other things are gone, and that's what we speak about love in a relationship. In the beginning is all
yeah,
great. Thank you, Lord. That's a great concept right there. When you get into a relationship in this world, it usually has to do with something that's physical. You know, there's a
yeah,
physical attraction um, that usually leads to a relationship in most cases. So, but what happens when that physical aspect dies off?
yeah,
What do we have? Like, what's left? Even if you live together for a long period of time, after a while you start aging and things aren't the same as it was when you first got together. What do you have that sustains at the end?
see, that's why you gotta get God, because
That
that
love
supply
is
everything and love at the same time. You see what I'm saying? That
correct.
God's love is the mug, boy. For
God's
real.
love, and that God's kind of love, you know, that agape love, that unconditional love that you can actually have for your mate. You know what I'm saying? You can look past some things that you probably wouldn't look past before. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And that's what God factor comes in at. But if you didn't have that God factor, then you're only looking at some conditional love. I love what I see now. And when things
yeah,
go bad, you know, it's time for me to move on to something else that's good, you know,
yeah,
or what it used to be. All these different types of things. You see what I'm saying? So we have to have something that sustains, and we know for a fact, if you're truly wise, you know for a fact that God is everlasting.
yeah.
All right. So that's the first love that we should have. So, and that love sustains everything else. And if you have a love for God, the things that you can't see, it's much easier to have a love for the things that you can.
Hey, why it's so hard sometimes that okay, while we on this subject, some women they go to church, they feel, or some men go to church, and or they feel like they can't relate more into saying like, okay, if God the head of your life, right, on that's who you give your praise to get the peace you're looking for in a relationship. But at the same time, do you look at on women, is that the mistake people have sometimes of putting more faith into a man or a woman than God, and then all of a sudden they not getting God love no more, but they into God though. You see what I'm saying? Like, God, why this happened to me now? I'm like, was it because y'all both had y'all mind on God at the same time to make it work, or was it just you had your mind on getting a man or getting a woman, and now let's go to church? You feel me now? Like, like you fell in love before you got God. You didn't have God before you fell in love. You just fell in love, then got God. Which one you think so, Ty? You understand that though?
If you didn't, okay, if you didn't have, check it out. If you didn't have God before you fell in love,
Yeah,
what kind of love did you fall into?
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm asking right there. Like, what was God at before you got in love, before you fell in love? You feel me though?
The love
That's for
that
anything.
the love, the love that you got get God until after you so-called fell in love. The love that you had was not a godly love, because if you never experienced God, then you don't know the character of that love. So the love that you have is based on somebody else's character.
Yeah,
It can be mom,
yeah,
it can be a friend, a peer that you've seen. It could be some stranger. It could be television. See what I'm
yeah,
saying? But it's not our heavenly Father. It's not that
yeah,
character unless another person was demonstrating it for you.
yeah,
See what I'm saying? So if you didn't have God before you so-called fell in love, I thought I was in love too before I had God.
yeah,
But the love
yeah,
was self-love. I loved the things that I liked. It was my love. It was my definition of what love was, and not necessarily what Bible tells me what love is, or God's character for that matter. you know.
Yeah.
But once I fell in love with God, check this out. This is the funny part. Once I did fall in love with God, that same person that I claimed to love before, I didn't
Yeah.
want, I couldn't even relate to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Yeah.
the true love actually really was, you know. And it wasn't the love that I claimed at first, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I was saying about the trust, because you want to put all your trust in the God, and that's why I was saying we put our trust in the wrong people sometimes. Then we get crossed. We didn't have it in God, because you be like, look, man, I put it in God, so you know what I'm saying. It wasn't born for me to hate you. It was born to say we might grow it out of sight or grow it out of mind, or feel me, not grow it into hate. If we had both our love on God, we didn't have to worry about growing the hate. Feel me? But we
Man,
had
that
it on being a woman. Now we got a problem. Feel me? Feel
said a
me though?
mouth that's the whole that that is this the whole unveiling of marriage, what you just said.
Yeah.
When we truly are married to God first, when we're truly married to God, I don't mean on no funny stuff. I'm just talking about having that bond, that relationship with God, that loving relationship with God. If
Yeah.
both people have that first in their life, man, it's like it's just marriage is automatic. If you can be
Yeah.
married to both people have an independent relationship with God, and they join together, right, with God in the midst as the overhead of that relationship. This is how y'all work through y'all differences with the mediator and the balancer in the middle.
Yeah.
That's how relationships work. But if there's no God factor, this part right here is chaos. This is
Yeah.
chaotic right here, because everybody is their own individual God and going by their own perceptions. But if y'all both are trying to seek the same perception, y'all both are trying to seek this and please this relationship first, and pleasing this relationship, that sets the guidelines for the bottom relationship.
Yeah.
I don't set the guidelines and the standards in my relationship. My wife don't set the guidelines and standards in my relationship. God sets the standards and guidelines, and we both abide by that. All right.
Yeah.
When we have a difference in opinion or a difference in agreement, thank God that there's a mediator. You know what I'm saying? And the mediator is, let's take it to the Father. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we both want to please Him. So therefore, sometimes I have to bow down. You know, I have to bow down to God, and since that I'm bowing down to God, I have to bow down to my wife because He tells me to, and
Yeah.
vice versa, and vice versa. My wife has to submit to me sometimes based on what Scripture tells her she's supposed to be as a wife and in her love for God. I don't have to do it. I ain't got
Yeah.
to boast. I ain't puff and huff, none of that, because I have a surety that God's going to handle the situation either way. See what I'm saying? And
Hey,
put it out there. It's a fact. We don't always agree, but we always come together at the end. So, and it's that God factor that does that, not us.
you think I was just gonna say with that part sometime is, if people was on their last straw sometime, even when you see people sometime after they get divorced, you look at the reality of the divorces wasn't worth the new age of finding somebody that's gonna be perfect, as I'm saying. Feel me now? You start knowing, did you know that person before you got with them, or you thought you know that person? You feel me now? So it be hard these days, and as you get older, you learn the odds ends where, what I'm saying, when some people, when they say they'll do them apart, they meant that, what I'm saying, they won't do another marriage. They'd rather be single. You feel me now? that part. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about what you were saying on that God's love factor, because you got to think on, you know, of what we be possessed to, even when we possess to our phones. Do you think of even or we have kids come in a relationship before marriage ended it and everything be attachment? You feel me now? So it's like if God ain't your first love before you got all this sometime, and then do you think sometimes that be the effect of when you actually know the person, knowing what they got more time into than them, or more time do they got into God than them? Because when you got all your time into God, it kind of balances everything out. But when you trying to do this and do that and be on this and all of a sudden you make time for God like when you want to, when it's convenient, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You lose your balance. You feel me now? It's like
The
what's the
priority.
full commitment sometimes? The full commitment make it a better thing.
Yeah, sometimes we have to sit back, man, and we have to stop and just sit and reflect sometimes. And when I say we, I'm talking about me, so I
Yeah,
can definitely relate to it. That's a lot of times when I get clouded. I've talked to several people this week about that, even my brother Rob, John Henry,
yeah,
we conversation about that. Sometimes you get weary, man. I
yeah,
talk to my pastor, and I need people like that around me when the enemy trying to get to me. You know what I'm saying? Just because we change our lives for God, or we're following Christ, or whatever the situation is, or we're trying to get more on our spiritual side, doesn't mean that temptation doesn't come. It doesn't.
yeah,
It don't mean that you're not gonna have no more struggles or anything like that, or no more thoughts, or you ain't gonna slip up, because temptation gonna come. Like I said, I'm not, and that's what I mean when I say I'm not always in Christ. That's the only time I'm perfect is when I am. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then I'm into self, and I know that self is not perfect. You know,
yeah.
so temptations come. And when you defeat those temptations, you have to give glory to God. I give God all the glory, but there's times when I don't. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? And yeah,
I'm gonna give you a good one while you right there. What happens sometimes? Cause things like this done happen to me. What happens sometimes when your unprofession, cause like you said, you good when you in God, you good when it's spirit. You feel me? But sometimes you ain't always good, cause you gotta be yourself too. What what experience you done had that unclashed? What no matter if you was in spirit, you feel me now?
yeah,
Like
I,
have you had bad and spirit clash, and all of a sudden you like, look, this wasn't my intentions, because I had to get better on keeping them both apart, because my perfection is not should bother me spirit wise on what makes me look bad. I know what my spirit is. It ain't what you seen look bad, it's what my spirit is. What can you say about them clashing if you had them experience? Because I have them sometimes. I done had them before. You feel me now? It's good. It's all good when it's mixed and no perfection right there to look at. But when it clash together and now you gotta know, oh, is I'm worried about what nobody say. That's why I had to stamp. I don't care what nobody say or think about me. You feel me now? Because I got tired of thinking that was gonna be something. I would go make me explain my perfection sometime when it came to my spirit. You feel me now? So what that experience like as you getting older and looking at what you becoming to people and what you stand for sometimes. You feel me now? How's
what's up?
that the challenge? That's the challenge out there.
It's definitely a challenge. Okay, and I'm gonna say this: the spirit is always there. It's not a turn on for me. It's not a turn on, turn off. It's a
Yeah,
am I gonna obey or not obey? It's not a
yeah,
turn on to obey or not obey. And there's times where have fallen short in the obedience part. Feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? So when that happens, I thank God that I can actually be convicted of that, to where I have another opportunity to get that part right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the enemy going if he got you that time, he gonna try to keep that going. So it's
Yeah.
up to you to interrupt that cycle. You know,
Yeah.
if you're convinced enough to make that change, to want to identify more with God in that area. Do you want to give God the glory in that particular area? You know what I'm saying? And for as people go, people gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't the
Yeah.
hit. It's so. Or once again, are you at peace with your decision?
Yeah.
Remember, I just,
Yeah.
and that's where that conviction come in at. If I'm convicted by it and I'm not at peace with it, then I have to make a change. I have an opportunity to change that direction. If I don't like what I just did, and I feel I offended God, or I offended my wife, or myself for that matter, do I want to change it? Do I
Yeah.
want to have I altered my brother? You know what I'm saying? And here's an even deeper one that I think about for myself is it really even about me? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 I felt that.
If I'm trying to change, it, put it this, I might be able to handle myself in a situation, but my brother may not. Feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if I put him in a situation to not better him, or he looks at me in a certain manner, and I just tainted that, then I owe him
Yeah.
a Skulla, I owe you an apology. Feel me?
Yeah.
See, because I want people to grow. I'm not trying to hinder anybody. And if it takes me to be the better person when I'm around a certain person, to not allow them to fall, or to not
Yeah.
taint their version of what God may be to them based on my character, or my character
Yeah.
in, then I have to change that. You know, I have to change that part of me, or sacrifice that part of me for the sake of my brother. See
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Am I willing to do that? I'm going to answer that for you. Yes, I am. Just because I'm able to do something don't mean I'm trying to hinder someone else who may be falling short in that particular area. Or
Yeah.
if they're looking at me as that focal point of identifying with Christ, or identifying with God, then I have to apologize to God and to my brother, um, for my shortcomings. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I have to be able to admit, hey, look, this wasn't right. I messed up. You know what I'm saying? And this this is not what we should be doing. You know, or as I just said, I apologize, bro, because I took you there. You followed me because you looked up to me, and I led
Yeah.
you astray. Feel what I'm saying? We have to be men enough to accept where we at, and women for that matter. You know, we have to accept and be accountable for our actions. Now, what people say really doesn't matter to me as an individual, because I'm open to say I'm sorry. I'm open to saying, hey, look, I wasn't my best self that day. You know what I'm saying? What you say, that ain't my norm. I messed up this time, but that ain't my norm. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't right, or better yet, that wasn't right. Whatever the situation may be. I talk to my daughter, and we talk about things that we've done in the past. You know what I'm saying? Me as her father, and she's like, Dad, remember this? I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't right. You know,
Yeah.
and truth of the matter, just we're not gonna sit here and glorify it, and make it seem like it was something that it wasn't. If it
Hey,
wasn't right, it wasn't right.
what I was speaking on with that, I was talking to my kids because into that part, what you saying, what you think about the breaking bad habits and creating bad habits, because
That's it,
you
right?
know when we create the bad habits, same way we might break a bad habit on thing we used to do and all that. So now they broke it because we like, nah, I ain't gonna do that no more. That wasn't good. Feel me? And creating a bad habit to me is like keep doing the same thing and knowing it's gonna get better and knowing it's gonna get worse. You feel me? You didn't have that stop mode to say, nah, I ain't gonna do this no more. I already know what this led to. You feel me now? What's that about the creating and breaking bad habits?
See,
That breaking that down right there. What?
that's a long time ago. Remember, my wife talked about this. There's a difference in sinning and sinner. Feel what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And the way I define it is a sinner is one who indulges in their craft. You
yeah,
indulge in
yeah.
what you do,
I,
sinner. And then there's a person who has committed something or a trespass against God, and you realize that you have trespassed against God, and you repent and you turn away from that thing, or you ask for
yeah,
forgiveness for that case. That's sinning. And you strive to be better, yet you fell to temptation. That's
yeah,
that's sinning. The act of sin is sinning. But an
yeah,
indulgement in sin, something that you continuously do because this is what you do, is a
yeah,
sinner. That's your craft. That's your craft. That's your job. That's what you do. You sin. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That's what you indulge in. So there's a difference. And when people who indulge in sin see someone who don't indulge in sin, it's like, see, gotcha. No, you don't. You really,
Hey, one word go with that, sin and hoe. Is that the count of the same? You feel me though? If a sin, a hoe, you feel me? What that's about right there? What that relate that to your way? I know my way. I'm just thinking your way. You feel me?
sin, a hoe is a hoe. Yeah, either way it goes, it's still a sin. That's what it is. But then
Yeah,
there's hoe, that's a hoe who is one who indulge in hoeing. See what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
One
yeah,
who would
yeah,
call her a hoe. That's what she is. But then that's another one who may do the same thing as the so-called hoe, but they do it for one person.
yeah,
Is,
yeah.
is it not doing? Is, you know what I'm saying? Is it not? So it's how can I put it? That's the act of having an outside relationship. Do you call a person who slept with somebody outside a relationship one time a hoe?
When they say home record.
I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Do you call them a hoe, or what they hoeing?
Hey, it's kind of, I say they hoeing because they what, I don't know. What do that matter if they good at their craft, or was it worth it? How you would look at
Think
that?
about that craft. What I'm
Yeah,
talking about, the act of trespassing. Is
yeah,
there a conviction with the act of trespassing, or is it get it how you live mentality?
oh,
Girl,
okay,
I'm gonna get mine. It don't matter. He chose me anyway. He treat me better than he treat his own wife. All that good stuff. You
yeah,
good with it. You know what I'm saying? You good with your actions, and
yeah,
that's very devilish in that moment. That's very. And when I say devilish, I'm speaking of the individual, because you're being selfish now. There's
yeah,
no love for the other party. There's no honor towards the other female or male for that matter. There's no honor towards yourself, because you're willing to be secondary. Feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're justifying it with the things that you're getting. All right.
yeah,
And there's a difference in that than someone who you're attracted to, and you slipped up. Does it make it right? No. All right. You still did a hoish act. Feel what I'm saying? But does it make you
yeah,
a hoe? Does it make that your craft? Is that your norm? Is that what you do? No.
yeah.
Just like a
Oh,
sin. You fell into
exactly.
the act, fell into the temptation, but you're convicted by it. You're not at rest with it. You're uneasy by it, and
Yeah.
you vow not to do it again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a difference. There's a
Do
difference.
you think? Do you think that part of? Because I tell people all this time, just because you get married, that don't mean you change overnight. Shit, you gotta be filtered out. If you was a hoe before you go got married, you gonna be a hoe. Niggas don't want to believe that. Women don't want to believe that. If you was a hoe, you gonna still be a hoe. You gotta be filtered out. Niggas don't understand that. Just the same way, you better learn somebody that know you before they get with you, before you get with them, so they won't know that. And the realest, as you get older, you should want a man to do something if you want to keep the spice. You feel me? But that's the point of certain people. They get in a relationship for the wrong reasons, and that's the part of one of them sometimes thinking if they get married, life change. You don't go cheat, or the definition of what you saying of good in your crap or hoeing or just hoeing. You feel me now? Or hoe. That sin right there. Sometimes people are traitor that sin just for them two right there and get a worse of sin. You feel me now? Like, goddamn, I should have stayed where I was. That was just something that happened and it was a mistake and it was a trespass situation. But all of a sudden now, I got a motherfucker that's really hoeing. You feel me now? He good at his goddamn craft. Or she good at her damn craft. Now I thought I was at peace. Shit, because you in another relationship, that makes it peace? No. Now I understand the trespassing of that part, what we saying. What you think of that? Because you know that's something seriously of what you saying or what we covering tonight for people to understand what that means sometimes. You feel me now? I'm glad you brought that up, man. For real. For real.
My
For
my
real.
my pastor try to use this like my pastor did earlier tonight. He was saying that he's the same person now as he was before Christ. He's the same person in Christ that he was before Christ. All right.
Yeah.
It's just now that he's in Christ.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That makes perfect sense. That's why I'm the light, baby. You feel me?
so what he was getting at is he liked to be a jokester. You know, he liked to
Yeah.
tell jokes, be the highlight of the party. All right.
Yeah.
And that stayed with him. That's just a part of his character that stayed with him. And he's saying before Christ, he liked to be the highlight of the party. And even in Christ, he still liked to be the highlight and the jokester of the party because that's what he do. He's humorous. So
Yeah.
that just like me saying I was a soldier before God, I'm a soldier for a different cause now. That character of who I am and my uniqueness doesn't change the fact that I'm in Christ. It's just who I'm. How do I use that character now? What do I use it for? Do I use it for self-gain or do I use it to glorify God? All right, watch
Yeah.
this. So I just used,
Man, you said a mouthful right there.
so I just said soldier. I just said life of the party. So let's use this word hoe that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So when we talking about hoe, we talking about somebody who either sleep around with a bunch of men, um, of indulgence. It ain't even about the money factor. It's the fact that you like sex. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. A whole someone who just likes sex and they're gonna get it in however they choose to get it in. It ain't even about the money factor. They just like doing what they do.
Yeah.
That's a hoe. I was a hoe. All right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a money factor. I just like doing what I did. You know what I'm saying? So watch this. Do I still like doing what I do? Yes, I do. So in that factor, it don't change the fact that I have whorish tendencies. You know, in that
Yeah.
sense, since based on the word that we're defining. But who am I a hoe
Yeah.
for? See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yo
Yeah.
ho, am I Daisy, Diane, Susie, and Marie ho?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a hoe for
Yeah.
one person. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. it's a change come. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
I,
that's so the fact and that makes it not a sin because I'm doing it under the covenant, a godly covenant, and I have given all of me, whom we initially called the whole, to one person. I'm giving all of me because that's what comes with me to that
yeah.
one person,
Yeah.
and I made God that this is the person that I'm going to give all myself to. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it changes the dynamics.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Now, if I take what I've told this person that I'm going to give all of me to, and I give it to someone else, I've just trespassed. See what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
because you didn't commit. You feel me? You didn't commit to something that was good, and that's the best way you can have it. Feel me though? So
yeah,
so so why be and see that be the same time a person can be flirtatious. You know what that mean, don't you? Might he ain't gonna do shit. He might say bullshit and all that. Now I've been on my hoish ways and all that. It might be that way, but I ain't gonna do shit. You feel me? But that used to be something I would just like to see smiles or say funny shit or say some crazy shit or do some crazy shit. But that don't mean that my character changes. But the real me, you know what I'm gonna do and what I won't do.
yeah.
So that's the point of actually knowing them person and getting to know a person. Man, we
I
slid through here so damn fast. You feel me now? Keep going though. I got one more subject for you before we get up out of
well, go ahead.
here.
I understand that I agree with you in that factor. Like I said, sometimes we get in a sense of pride. Even me, like I said, I try to keep it real so other people can gain too. I talk about myself in hopes that it may free somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
And
there's
we don't
times,
include a lot of people tonight, boy. What you said with that right there, you said a mouthful, boy. You're freed all kind of people right now, boy. They probably know the two differences. You feel me, though? For real. Hey, y'all like, share. If you watch this, y'all need to like, share. You have a conversation, know that what it is, spiritually way. Man, I keep saying, man, come out the best way we get to them in the spiritual form. And I love it like this. That's why I tell you that all the time, man. And that's the breakdown we be needing sometime, knowing the correct ways how to use stuff and the correct ways, of spiritual way. You feel me? Spiritual realm way, and knowing what spiritual realms really mean. Show the one that experienced it are not scared to say, yeah, I put this before God, or I put that before God, or I would this. Because when you unbig convicted and you know yourself now, you know how you running for God now, man, ain't talk about anything. See, that's where I'm at with myself. Feel me now?
that is very true. Um, that's how I see it. That's how I try to live my life. Like I'm not a perfect person. I never tell nobody that, but that is my goal. That is my strive to be as close to Christ as I possibly can. Um,
Yeah,
but I also know in order for me to free people or for me to give to others as God has given to me, I have to be transparent, in a lot of
yeah,
ways, and I have to be real with myself, and I have to also speak in a language that people understand, and that's the key
yeah,
part, just be relatable and take the concepts and the principle of Scripture and speak it and put it in a language that people can relate to. And that's what we're doing tonight. I hope nobody don't think that we talking about hoes and pimping and all that type of stuff. We just taking a
Nah,
language.
we relate the
Yeah,
conversations to let people know what certain words mean and how they use. See, and us
exactly.
relate. Just like I tell people, my ghetto ass of how I spiritually fed, I can relate to that kind. He can relate to me, so we good.
Yes,
I
sir.
know, and I love it because I'm not spiritually dumb. It just who can relate to you to get your message across sometime, and we can relate to each other. You feel
Yes, sir.
me?
Yes.
Hey, speaking where we at, I was thinking of two things before we get out of here. Contradictions, the major contradictions in the Bible. Genesis chapter 1 says man and woman were at the the same time, and after that was the animals. That was chapter 1 now, Genesis. But in Genesis 2, it say man was created, then the animals, and then woman. Break that down for me. In Genesis, chapter 1 and chapter 2, who created first? It said uh, 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 man and women were created, then animals. Then in chapter 2, it say man, animals, and then women. I be trying to figure that out because I'm kind of stuck right there. That's why I was trying to reevaluate that right there. What you think of that before we get up out of here?
I would have to honestly go back to what part of chapter 2 that we're speaking of and put it in context. But coming from Genesis 1, I've come to learn that first it was man, then it was the animals, and the reason why God said that man, it wasn't fit for man to be alone because the animals already had mates. See what I'm saying? It was man that didn't, and man was set. Paraphrasing, man was set forth to rule over the animals. That was the command that God gave to Adam, was that he was gonna rule or have rule over the rest of the rest of the world. He would have rule. All right, him by himself. But then when you see these animals paired up, and you see this man by himself, it's like, hey, I can't have him by himself, and they going happy so ever after. They gonna multiply. He gonna remain the same. You see what I'm saying? And he's the only one of his kind. You have to understand that God made man in His image. So what did that say about
See,
God?
while we were stuck, I was thinking about when we stuck at the real, right there, and that's why I brought that up on the
How do
creation part.
how do you think God feel? Watch this. How do you think God feel being the only one of His kind?
Yeah,
This is why He
that's
needs.
it.
So when He's looking at man who's made in His image, it's like, okay, it ain't good for him to be alone. All right. So after I did all this, it's like, oh, I need to give him a companion as well. They can rule together, and I'm thinking that's where it picks up in chapter 2, as it relates to me. As it relates to me, I'm not saying nobody right, nobody wrong. As it relates to me, it's picking up in chapter 2, and it's saying making man and woman as one. Going back to what we was talking about, that rib, and that's all it's doing is saying man and woman is one, or one of the same kind, you know. And that's how it relates, because even when you speak about God, um in the Greek and Hebrew language, God is plural. See what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So, but then He's plural and singular. It's the plural sense, but He's actually singular. Because if
yeah,
God is things, then that means that it takes everything within the world to make a whole, to make the one. See what I'm saying? Am I making sense to you?
yeah. You
So,
making perfect sense.
so, so God is all things, plural, but only one entity.
I think what you think, because it was another contradiction there while we on that one entity, you know what I'm saying? It said it was it's a we created, and then it was a I created. What you think about the I and the we's
Go,
in Genesis 1 and 2?
going back into the language of the time. If God is plural and yet singular at
Okay.
the same time,
Yeah. I got you.
you know
See,
what I mean?
see, that's where that we and the I be mixed up at. You feel me now? So you said it right. I'm glad we brought that up too.
Watch this.
'Cause
Watch concepts and principles. What's my nickname? What, what
Ren,
what's my Facebook name?
Ren's T.
Renz T. That means that Renz T is Renz, which is me, and T, which is my wife. I put
Yeah,
them together, and now I have formed one word that has two meanings.
yeah,
So when you see
yeah,
me, you see her. That's why I say Renz T. And when you see her, you see me. so we can be in multiple places at one time. See what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and that's how we move as a unit. If I can't do something, she represents me wherever she go, and I represent her wherever I go. Thus the word
Yeah.
Renz T. So you call, when you talking to me, you're talking to my wife too.
Yeah.
When
Hey,
you
I love that.
when you address me, you're addressing her as well.
Yeah.
That's why I have adopted that name, Renz T. I know
Yeah.
that it's two different things, but to everybody else in the world, it's one. Feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Same
Hey,
concept. Same concept.
man, I love that. For real. Hey, we gonna start right there, man. We gonna get back. We gonna get into that, man. I want you to check that out. That Genesis 2. We gonna go to Genesis 1, Genesis 2. We go create that next. That's where we gonna start it right there. You give me a better understanding with that Genesis 2.
Will,
Is that the
I'll
same
look
on what how the creation went with the real? Because like you say, that's the difference: the man, the animals, and the women. But on this one, it's men and women, then the animals. So
okay.
I want to get into that out there.
I'll
Renz
tell
T, man. Yeah, that's what's up. South Park and South Trill talk, man. Man, got any events? You need anybody? You got anything jumping? What you got anything jumping this week, next week? What I seen some flyers. We need
you.
anybody to come out? What they need to know, man.
Well, actually, I just missed it today. We did the upper bound at the college today, just talking about entrepreneurship and I say defining success. It was we really was there to represent people that they consider who to be successful within the community, but you know me, I got to put a twist on things. It was more so of how we define success. You know, what is our definition of success? And mine is a little bit different than what people may believe it to be when they look at me. You know, I mentioned it earlier that, for as I'm concerned, success for me is being at peace with my decisions. That's success for me. You know,
Yeah,
joy is success for me. It ain't a money factor or a dress factor or what it looked like. It's just that inner peace is what brings me success. You know, at the end of the day, no, it really doesn't matter how much money you have. You just have to be at peace with yourself, and that's true success to me.
that's what's up, man.
Tomorrow,
Man,
tomorrow we'll be in Camden
look,
tomorrow. Men of Purpose, Levi, Lawrence will be in Camden 6 o'clock. It's on Facebook. I don't know the exact location, but we will be in Camden, and Levi Lawrence will be at some church. Check out the flyer. Look on Renz T's page. Look on South Arkansas Mott page. You'll see the
I
flyer. Camden tomorrow
watch
night.
post it down on the interview. So that way people they want to get involved, they can come right then they'll know. I know a lot of people go watch this. I know a lot of people study this. Hey man, you join the conversation, like, share, man. It's a lot of brain food, a lot of game. It's just our opinion now. We ain't trying to act like saving the world, man. Reach one, teach one, but having good conversation, grown up conversations, you know what I'm saying? Relatable conversation. That's what we into out there, man. Renz T, South Arkansas Trill Talk, man. Hey, man, love it, man. Hit me up, man. We got to keep going, man.
All
I'm
right.
going to try to get you on YouTube next time. Make sure we have everybody tuned in so that way they know they can follow us on any platform, man. For
Well,
real.
got to
Much
push the
love, man.
chat.
All right, one, man. Yeah.